Hola, my friends, y bienvenidos, mi amigos. Welcome to another episode of Blockchain Strategies and Mining. I also like to call it mine because I like mining with GPUs especially, but I also do mining with ASICs and other things that we discuss. Today, I want to show you the MSI Mech. We're talking about the MSI Mech 5700. How terrible they are. I just broke one down yesterday, and I'll take a video of that, and I'm gonna do another one that shows how the thermal pads are just too small for the card. Here's my mining farm in case you guys want to take a look. It's quite large. It's about 42 rigs with 8 cards each. Some of them are down right now because I'm working on them, but I want to talk about these two specifically. These two had MSI Mechs, and I swapped them out with some Dell 5700s that I changed out the thermal pads, and then I'm gonna swap these out and swap that out. I have 3 more to swap out, and then maybe even these Sapphires actually run really well. If you look at the MSI Dells, they're actually running pretty well. 92 degrees, 94. That's what you want to look at. You will look at the GPU memory. Once it hits 104 or 106, it starts throttling back. And look, these are all pretty good over here. And it's actually 80 degrees where they're at right now. 90, 86, 88. So they're running really well. And look at those hash rates, 55 each one. Same thing with my first rig. But if you go to rig number 3, which is hybrid 003, you'll notice these are the MSIs, and take a look at those rates. 45, 33, 50, 43, 43, 46. They're throttling back because of the temperatures. Same thing with number 4. And you can see the temperatures. You can also see the hash rates. And same thing with number 5. 106, 104, 104, 102. Notice how they all start throttling back. Now, if you look at the Sapphires, they're all running really well. 55 each, no problems. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the MSI Mech 5700. I'm going to tear them down, change the thermal pads, change the thermal paste, and show you how you can have them run much more efficient. Okay, so here I have one of the Mech 5700s. I'm going to go ahead and break it down. The good thing about this is very simple. It's only 4 screws. If you want to change a fan, it's a lot more difficult. I'll do another video on that. But let's, for now, just do the thermal paste and the thermal pads and show you what's in there. 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. Very simple. Definitely get something with a magnetic tip because it makes your life much easier. I've tried without it. It's really a pain. So here you go. Only 4 screws, and it comes completely apart. Let me take this off here. Now, if you notice, look at these thermal pads here. Make it bigger here. Much better if I do this bigger. All right. Let me make this bigger. There we go. Okay. If you look at the thermal pads here, look how tiny they are compared to the chips that they're supposed to keep cool. I have a micrometer here. This is 70, let me see, how much is that? 66. I know it looks like 99 there, but 66 by 87. When the chip is 104 by 142. I mean, that's just terrible what they did there. So one of the things you want to do if you ever replace any type of thermal paste or thermal pads, you do want to measure the pads that are on there just to make sure. I already know these are 2 millimeter from doing other ones, but here, I'll show you. Take one down. They're probably going to be a little plastered, so you might, it might be a little bit different, but you don't want to be tight. You just want to be snug. And I have a reading of 1.8, which is really 2 because it's been smushed. So take off each one of these one by one. These little tiny ones too. All right. Take that one. Man, they're very brittle. They're like falling apart. All right. Then this one here is a little more difficult. This part, you're going to really have to do a little work on there. They don't really come out easy. I've already done a few of these and they're very hard to get out. But you got to do the best you can. And this is like terrible, terrible. Just use a regular flathead and just scrape it the best you can. Do the best you can. You're not going to be able to get it all off. Just do what you can. This is like really, really terrible. I don't know why they would put this here. This is the worst thermal pads I've ever seen in my entire life. But anyways, you get what you pay for. I bought these things where they were like $300, so I really can't complain. They've done well for me. But God, who would have known it would have been this bad? Anyways, then get some alcohol. Clean out everything best as you can. Yeah, I know you're not going to be able to get all of this, but believe me, it's going to help a lot. Some more rubbing alcohol. Clean, clean, clean. All right, so for the memory, you want to use 2 millimeter. Pads to replace these. That's what it uses. So for this one, just a nice long strip will be fine. Something like this. Cut that. There you go. Got that in there. I also have this small one. Perfect. It's perfect for there. And then for the 3. No, not quite long enough. Or is it? Let me see. Yeah, it might be. No. I need to get it perfect. these off here. That's it. And then I have these three I have to also get. A little long. Yeah. Doesn't matter if it's a little long, it's just transferring heat. That's all it does. It's not conductive. Oh, actually, that's too short. I messed that one up. All right, I'll use that for the next one. This one actually is perfect. Push it down so it sticks, because you're going to flip the card over, it might fall off. Okay, so you already set this up. All you do is turn it around. Make sure you align all the holes. Here's the light. Exactly. Once it all falls in place, that's it. All you do is put the 4 screws back in. Oh, wrong screwdriver. That's the Phillips. That's the flathead. Now when you put these in, you're going to notice it's going to be a little harder because they're brand new pads. So you need to make sure you tighten them correctly in a cross pattern and hard. And this one. So cross pattern, tighten this one, very tight. This one, and this one. And don't forget, you need to also put in the little cable that goes for the fans, which I'll do that now. No big deal. That's it. All ready to go. Actually, I forgot to change the thermal paste on the GPU. So that's about the amount you want to put in there. It's just like a little blob. So I went ahead and changed that. All you got to do, actually, clean this out a little bit. Okay, make sure all the pads are on correctly. Doesn't matter if it's a little dirty, it doesn't matter, it just works. And then you have to align it using a light because it's kind of hard to see, but you need to get it perfect. Once you get it perfect, then you go ahead and change out the screws, which I already showed before. Okay, so I finished doing the thermal paste and the thermal pads on the Mechs. As you can see, the thermal pads are way too small, so they run extremely hot. Not just that, the fans, they're just terrible. And out of the Mechs, I got 16 Mechs back from my provider, where my data center, and out of the 16, 14 the fans don't work, so I have to replace them all. So I'll do a video on that as well. So I'll replace the fans, and once I send them to the data center, I'll go ahead and show you the difference on the temperatures compared to the other Mechs that I have there. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up, a like, and if you can, share it to other people. I like to see if I can get to 100 people so that way I can get my domain name on there. But I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have a great day.